All right, well, hey, it's Saturday, September 2nd, and we're back up here. Got a little bit of a late summer cold thing going, but hopefully it should be over that pretty soon. Yeah, today is we're going to put the stickers on for the fuel level indication. There's a tube that goes, a clear plastic tube goes right there, and then there's a little full, three-quarter, half-quarter empty sticker that goes on behind it, and that's how you tell what the fuel is in the airplane. That's the fuel gauge. There's no electric or electronic fuel gauge in this. We're going to try and we're going to see if we can weigh the wings today. Had some advice from an experienced builder. He said, before you put the wings on, he says, put them all together and weigh them. And he said adjust them so they're both exactly the same weight. And I never really thought about that. Maybe that's a common thing, but I hadn't thought about it. So we're going to give it a try. I don't have any aircraft scales up here, but we got the good old bathroom scale. We'll see how close it is and if we can actually get this done. So anyways, here we go. By the way, the covers I use on those fuel outlets is just a hose cover. I don't know what you call this thing. A plug, a hose plug from I think the fuel lines or the brake lines. I got these fuel sight gauge tubes put on, got the sticker applied on there, went on pretty good, not too bad. One thing to note in the book, there's a grommet you're supposed to put on here, and when we did these, I must have been a little bit off. I mean, we did them, I drilled these out according to how the instructions were way back when, but when we put the sight tube pieces in here, it didn't line up quite right. It's kind of riding up towards the top. We actually had to file that out, that hole there, to make it fit. So there's no way we're going to get a grommet in there. I decided just to leave those grommets off. There's one there and one there. We're just going to leave those off. I'm not concerned about that. But yeah, we got that put together. And also we just brought a couple scales up with us. Did I talk about this already?
I don't think so.
Okay, brought a couple scales and decided we wanted to weigh the wings, see what if there's any weight difference in these wings. And white, shiny. And so we just picked them up and set them on the scale, and what did we come up with?
86.
On both wings? Mm-hmm. Yeah, both wings, 86 pounds. That is not including any hardware. We don't have ailerons, flaps on there. We don't have wing tips on. We don't have the pitot installed there. What else? I think that's about it. Oh yeah, the OAT gauge, that's going to go out there. We don't have that installed. So just the way they are sitting here, they're both the same weight. So I would imagine we're probably going to gain a pound or two out here on the wing. And I don't know, had a suggestion that once we get the weight of these wings figured out, is to add just a little tiny bit of weight out in the wingtip to even them up. But just curious kind of what your opinions are on that. Yeah, so onward ho. All right, we already did one side, so we're gonna do the other one. I'm gonna show how we do this here. We are measuring and we are trimming. It's called the T-bone. This is the main attach point for the forward spar. And what you have to do is you have to trim this down. This is just this through hole, pipe, I don't know what you call this. Anyways, this has to get trimmed down so that it fits inside of that front spar. And then you also have to measure the distance from the back of here to the front of here, because this has to get trimmed down. That's what sets the position of the wing fore and aft. So we have to measure the distance from there to the center of this hole right here. So that distance tells us how much we have to trim off of the back side of that T-bone. Actually, it's that distance plus the thickness of this spar and this doubler here. That gives us the distance from the back, the center line of that hole in the back to this point right here. So then that T-bone actually sticks out a little bit, so we got to file that down here. And when that's done, we measure. That's not going to stay. We measure the distance from here to here, and then we take off of the front side of that T-bone. We cut that down so that it measures, or so that it fits inside of this spot right here. Got this measured here, and you saw I measured it twice, and the first time I did it was I put the end of the tape measure on the inside of the spar, measured to the center of the hole, and that came out to 46, exactly 46 inches. And then I would do another measurement just to make sure take the error out of it, as I take and we measure from, we take the 1 inch mark on the tape and we put it on the top. We line it up with the top of this spar right here, and then I measured it up to here. Center line of this hole was exactly 47 inches, so that makes that 46 inches there. When we did this first one, that was 46 and 1/32 of an inch. So there's just a little 1/32 of an inch difference in those two wings there. Okay, now that we've got the distance between the center line of that hole and that the top part there, and the back of the spar was 46 inches even, And then we're adding 3/8 of an inch onto that to get to the inside of that spar. So what we'll do is we'll measure 46 3/8 inches from the center of this hole, and then we'll mark that. We'll mark that on here. Probably, oh, the other one fell in really close. It's like it was like a couple 32nds of an inch off of there. Sorry for the focus. Take a little bit off there. So we'll mark that, and we take this off, and then we measure the distance of the inside of that spar, and then we apply it to this. So this distance from here where we file this off, we'll measure that from there up to here. It's going to end up being like right near where this weld is. So there's a pretty good chunk of this T-bone that has to come off of here, but we'll measure that, we'll mark it. The other one I did is I cut it off with a hacksaw within probably about 1/8 of an inch, and then filed the rest of it down to get it even. I want to show you how I did this. When we measured this, 46 3/8, 46 3/8, it was not very much, 1/16 of an inch had to take off of here. So we measured that. I marked it around this piece of steel here, this tube, and then I measured from the front of this to that mark with a caliper, and that became my reference for when I was filing. So I could file some, I could take the caliper, I lock that in, measure it, file it, measure it, file it, just keep filing it, measuring it until we get down to where that caliper fits in there, where I had that caliper locked in. Once that fits in there, then I know we're good here. Next we're going to measure this thickness, except over there, and then we'll mark it on here. And like I said before, that's going to take it right down to probably about where that weld is. Alright, so this is how we're going to measure. We have to measure the thickness from this this doubler, I guess I'd call this, to this other one on the other side. And that's where that T-bone slides in here, and then that bolt goes through. So what I do is I take my caliper on the inside, I kind of put it on an angle so it's going to be way long. I'll just move that out like that, and then I just pivot this caliper down till it stops. We're going to call this 0.230. 0.230. All right, got our measurement. We were 2.300 is what I came up with there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to measure from the back, from here forward, and that's going to give us our line where we're going to cut this off. And again, like I said before, it's like I said before, it's right next to that weld. So I'll mark this, I'll put a scratch in it with this caliper, and we'll cut it off. We'll cut it off out here a little bit, maybe another 1/8 inch out here. and then I'll start filing that down, and we just keep checking, file check until we're fit. Well, we got a hangar taking shape down there. They've been working away at it, but it was a pretty nice day today. A little toasty. I think we were up to about 90 degrees in the hangar. But yeah, pretty nice day. Not going to complain. Well, we're calling it done for today, and you saw that we did that work on the T-bone up there. We got those all done, and didn't get video of this, but we fit up one of the wings. I wanted to make sure that we were good on that fitting there, so we had a friend down here, and he gave us a hand, and we took that wing and just fitted up there, and it's fitting really nice. So looking forward to getting that done. But tomorrow we are going to...
We're going to weigh everything else that goes on the wing.
That's right, we're going to weigh all of the other parts that go on the wings, and we'll come up with kind of a final weight of each of those wings and see if there's anything different we need to do as far as putting a little bit of a weight out on it or not. But still, I guess the jury's still kind of out on that. We'll see. Curious what others have done, and maybe I might throw something up on Facebook about that. But yeah, it was a good day today. Busy. It was a nice, good, busy day. What else is that all we did? Was the T-bone? Oh, I guess we did that's right. We did the fuel level sight tubes on that. Anything else you need to add?
Nope.
All right. Well, all right. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and everybody have a good evening, and that's it for now.